Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something very exciting. If you can't tell, we're making a wedding cake. Now I wanted to show a super simple way to make a wedding cake because low-key, it's hard, but it's doable. Don't click off. It's doable. We can do this together. If you don't want to spend $1,000, $500 on a wedding cake, I understand. This is gonna be for you. We're gonna do it step by step so you can have a DIY wedding cake. Enough talking, let's get right into it. So a wedding cake seems complex, but I'm gonna break it down real simple for y'all. First things first, you need cake layers. Now I already baked mine. I would suggest, especially for the big day, you wanna bake ahead. Cakes you can prepare so far in advance that people don't realize. So I actually baked these cakes and then froze them. So you could bake them a week before your big day and freeze them. It would taste just as moist, it would taste just as flavorful. Honestly, I think they taste better when you freeze the cake because then the moisture locks in and as it defrosts, it's like, so good. Now that's if you're starting off with a good recipe. Now, if your cake's nasty, don't look at me. Like, I can't work magic. So a wedding cake could come in all different sizes. Today we're going simple. We have an 8-inch, a 6-inch, and a 4-inch. Now this would feed about 50 people, which I feel like is a good sized wedding. If you wanted to do a bigger cake, you could do a 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. You could even add on a 12-inch. But we're gonna start off small today because we're beginners and we're in this together. You're also gonna need some buttercream. Now buttercream, you should make it from scratch. You could buy it, but honestly, the food store's buttercream is make it from scratch. Now I have a recipe for my buttercream on my website that you guys could check out. It's so simple. It's butter, powdered sugar, egg whites. Mine's fancy, but if you don't want it to be fancy, you could just do butter, powdered sugar, some vanilla, and some milk. So easy. Anyone could do it. A spatula, a spatula, a spatula, I don't know what that was, but anywho, you're gonna need an offset spatula, not a rubber spatula. That's the one you mix. This is what you're gonna frost with. We're not beginners. We're no longer using a butter knife. Ugh! You're still using a butter knife in 2024? Not here, not if you're watching everything just baked. That got me thinking, like, I feel like we need like a fandom name. Well, we don't have fans, we have family. Like, what should I familiar be called? Like, my little cupcakes? No, I don't wanna call you cupcakes. Sprinkles? No. Cake pops? No. Cakers? No. If you guys have any suggestions on what we should be called, leave in the description. Anywho, offset spatula, you need it. Another important tool, a cake scraper. This is how you get smooth sides and a beautiful cake. I like a thin metal one. You could get them from Amazon. We even sell some tools on our website if you want to check them out. And it's branded A. And last but not least, a cake board. Now I particularly like this cake board by Avere. It is bougie, it's a bit pricey. You have to order it online. I don't think they really have it in stores. I like it because you see, they have feet at the bottom. This just makes it so much more convenient. Not a necessity, just make sure you have something sturdy because if it's a weak board, your cake will collapse. Okay, and then we're gonna need some regular cake boards. These are the thin ones I'm talking about. Like, you see this? If your cake board could do this, we don't want it. You see how I could bend it? We don't want that, our cake could do that. Cake is heavy and people forget that. So the first thing we're gonna do is grab our cakes. We'll start off with the biggest tier. So since we're starting off with the biggest tier, we're gonna use our biggest cake board. Ugh. This is brand new, I gotta. Ugh. Do I look fancy, y'all? Do I look like a groom? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't think anyone dances like that. You're first gonna grab your offset spatula and your turntable and your cake board. I like to flip my turntable upside down. I know it's weird, but this way your cake board doesn't move. How about that? That only works for big cake boards. A little bit of buttercream. This is gonna act as glue. Put it on, bam. I'm gonna make this real simple. Unwrap your cakes. Now, like I said, I pre-baked these, covered them in plastic wrap, and threw them in the freezer. They can last up to 3 months in the freezer. I don't suggest that long, but they can last that long. And do you see how moist that is? One more. Okay, don't do that with your wedding cake, but I mean, it's your wedding cake. You do you, boo. Okay, so grab a spatula. Now, people like to use paper mags, but paper mags are expensive. That's bougie. We're not bougie here. We're gonna blop. That's simple. Blop. It can't get any easier than that. You could do any flavored wedding cake you'd like. You could do chocolate, raspberry, vanilla, peanut butter, I don't care. As long as you have a cake and you have a buttercream. So this could be a chocolate buttercream, it could be strawberry buttercream. And all you're gonna do is take it off the spatula. I like to put my pointer finger on this like, dividend, I don't know, like this. And all you're gonna do is back and forth, just like a boat. Rock the boat, you know? Just think about Aaliyah's song. Just back and forth. You see how gentle? I'm barely moving too. Like the turntable with my other hand, I'm spinning. Bam. If you need a little bit more buttercream, just grab some. Bam. It's so gentle. Just like that. You could get down, make sure it's level. Bam. Now, whenever I do cakes, I love to do 3 layers, meaning 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layers. I feel like this gives the perfect height to a cake. If you're not jumping, you're doing it wrong. Like, I feel like the jump gives a little good luck, so make sure you're jumping. Ready? Ready? Blop. Blop. I like a generous amount. If you don't like a lot, you could do less. And now again, pointer finger, rock the boat, and level. You just want to get down again, make sure it's level. Perfect. Grab your next layer, and you're gonna add it on. Ready? Boom. And that is our first cake. And now, let's say you have, like you can see, some of it is sticking out a little. Some of it's like bulging out. What you're gonna do, say hello to my little friend. Maybe you threw it in the freezer and it got a little weird in shape. That happens, especially to me. All you're gonna do is grab your serrated knife and trim it off. Honestly, some people don't even like the caramelization, so they trim off the whole cake. I'm not like big into that, I don't care. I think the caramelization tastes good. So if you're someone like that, you could also trim this all off. I'm barely cutting, you can see. I'm barely cutting anything off. I'm just smoothing it out almost. And then you get to eat the scraps, yay! You can also do like this little technique too. And now push this all to the side, bleh, bleh. Now that our cake is perfectly filled, and again, if you wanted to, you could add fresh fruit, you could add chocolate chips, Oreos, whatever your heart desires. I'm being basic today with vanilla and vanilla, but you can never go wrong with vanilla. What I will say is, if you're a beginner and you're making this wedding cake, do not do a pudding, do not do like a cheesecake filling, and especially if you're a beginner, because it's so soft, it gets hard to work with, and your cake's gonna be the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And you see right now, our cake is straight. It's straight. We don't want this. We want this. Alright? So for a beginner, let's stick with it simple. Bam. That's it. That's it. Right now, we're doing a crumb coat. And a crumb coat means a thin layer of icing all around the cake to lock in the crumbs. You're still gonna see some cake showing through. That's completely okay. We just want the cake to be locked in. Y'all, do you think I could keep the suit clean by the end of this? I don't know. We shall find out. Okay, keep adding a little bit of buttercream. Again, a thin layer. It's okay if it's not perfectly smooth right now. All we're worrying about is making sure the cake is covered. Do not put the excess back into your main bowl. Grab another bowl and just put it in there. This is your scrap icing, you could call it. And that is how you crumb coat. Mic drop. Hey. This is exactly what we're looking for. And this is a perfect beginner stage. What we're now gonna do is put it in the fridge for about 20 minutes until the icing gets hard, and we're gonna do another coat. But before that, you're gonna hate me. We have to do this tier and this tier. Same process, same exact process, but you have to do it a couple times. To the fridge. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. You can see the cake, we can play the drums on it. That means it's good to go. What we're gonna do now is frost it. Grab some buttercream, plop, and plop. Now when we're doing this, we want to be generous. So we wanna do a thick layer because we're gonna take a lot of it off. Now, like I said, finger, rock the boat, rock the boat. When we're doing this, we want it to be smooth, we want it to be clean. So now, this time we actually gotta pay attention and stay focused. I'm not even moving this hand, I'm moving this hand to spin the turntable. You see that? Take off the excess, put it in the bowl. Now, when you do a thick layer, it's just so much easier to frost. In the beginning, I used to be skimpy, 'cause I was like, God, that's so much. but you scrape a lot of it off. And just overall, it's a much easier to frost a cake with more icing than less. Bam, look at that. Look at that. Look how smooth and beautiful. It's nice and level. Now what we're gonna do is frost the sides. So go to the side, buttercream, boom. All you're doing, grab some buttercream, push it on, 1, 2, grab more. Again, we wanna be generous, we're just lathering it on, 1, 2. Some people use a piping bag to do it all. Piping bags are messy. Boom, boom, boom. All we're doing, again, is making sure the cake is now completely covered. So right now, I'm kind of just focusing on the top, and then we'll go down to the middle, and then the bottom. It looks like I'm gonna have to grab more buttercream. And we're not using fondant for this wedding cake, we're using just buttercream. So again, we really, really, really wanna make sure it's nice and clean. So you can see the cake is completely covered. Now, a fun little tip what I like to do is swipe up. Now doing this, just make sure it's as even as possible, which will help you later on. Scrape off the excess, you can see there's not enough icing here, and we're just going up and down. Grab your cake scraper. How I like to hold it is my thumb in the front, 4 fingers in the back. Bam, bam. Put it straight, then angle towards you. You always want to keep it straight though, otherwise your cake will be crooked. Just angle towards you. This hand's not moving. The only hand moving is the turntable. Bam. Now you can see there's a lot of holes, there's a lot of gaps, it's a lot of ugliness. All we're gonna do is scrape out the excess and fill in the holes. So you can see there's a lot of holes here. So we're gonna fill that in, fill it in here, fill in the holes. And you're gonna repeat this process until you're happy with it. And if you want a more in-depth tutorial on how to frost a cake, click this link. I go over everything, all right? Now we have this top edge up here. All you're gonna do is get level, swipe in. You don't wanna round it, you just wanna get level, swipe in. You're cutting off the excess. Go down, swipe. And this gives you a sharp edge. Look at that. Perfectly straight, perfectly level, smooth. Hey, we killed it. I got buttercream on the floor. Put this back in the fridge for about 20 minutes again while we frost our other cakes. It's the same exact process. We want to get them all as smooth as possible. Because there's multiple ways. We could do a smooth wedding cake or we could do a textured one, which I'll show you guys shortly. Okay, so our cakes are all frosted. As you can see, we devoured, we ate. And how easy was that? But before we add some fun textures and design to it, I think it's best to stack the cakes next. To do that, we have bubble tea straws. These are just thick milkshake straws. These are the easiest. And you're probably saying, Justin, why are we using straws? If you do not, your cakes will collapse. Cakes are heavy, believe it or not. And if you just put this cake on top of this cake, it would boop, boop, boop. Let's say you wanted a pink tier or, I don't know, a blue wedding cake. All you would do is mix your buttercream with some blue food coloring or food coloring of your choice, and you would frost it the same way as the white, just with the colored buttercream. I like to do a thinner layer of colored buttercream, so I would do it right now. Grab your colored, boop, smooth, smooth, done. That easy. But today we're keeping it white. All you're gonna do is grab your straws. And since we're putting a 6-inch on top, that means we need 6 straws. So you need 1 straw per inch. Simple. I like to put them in like a clock. So 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, right? Isn't that how it goes? Clearly, I don't even know a clock. And you don't want to put them all the way to the edge. You want to keep them in the center because it's supporting the weight of the top tier. So you're just gonna put 6 straws in here. Ugh. 2 more. 1, 2. Just like that. You can see it's all towards the center. They have some space in between. Grab some scissors, and all you're gonna do is cut it flush to your cake. Boop. Push down, push down. Boop. That's simple. These you throw away. We can't use these. Now what you're gonna do, grab a little bit of buttercream. This is gonna act as glue. Put it towards the center. And now you're gonna put your top tier on. And since it's cold, it's easy to grab. It's not gonna break on you. There we go. Now all you're gonna do is plop it right on top. Boop. And now you can see mine's too far to one side, so I'm just gonna push it over until it looks good. You're gonna do a little happy dance. Let's say you put it on, you're like, ah! Sorry for your eardrums. But your cake is leaning. Here's the secret. Not many people do this. Grab some of that cardboard. All you're gonna do is fold it and literally tuck it under. And now you can see, I just lifted this side just with some cardboard. So if one side is a little shorter, if it's a little like, you know, put some cardboard underneath it. Now for our final tier is a 4-inch, so we need 4 straws. So 1, again, we're always working with cold cakes. If the cake's not cold, don't touch it. Okay, now we're gonna cut it. Boom, boom. Pop quiz. If I'm putting a 7-inch cake on top, how many straws? Huh? Tick, tock, tick, tock. Time's up. Leave your comment. What's the answer? What's the answer? 7 straws. 1 straw per inch. Again, the process is exactly the same. You can even flip it upside down because the cake's cold. Ready? Ready? Gotta do a little. First of all, can we admire how straight and smooth everything is? Now I know you're saying, Justin, we have some major gaps and stuff. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get there. But since we're making a wedding cake, I was like, let's do a fun design. Well, not too fun. Let's do a easy design. All you're gonna do is grab some buttercream, right? And what you're gonna do is plop it on and you're gonna like make some texture. So basically you're grabbing some and you're just going like back and forth. And this is just gonna create some design. And why are we doing this? You don't have to worry about your cake being so smooth anymore. But Justin, why did we waste all that time smoothing out the cake? I know you hate me right now. But we did that because this will look cleanest if your cake is super clean underneath. I'm putting it on and like I'm making C's. That's the best way to describe it. Some C's. And we're gonna do this on all tiers. But what I love about this design so much is it's perfect for beginners. You can't really mess it up. So if you had any imperfections, this design will literally cover it. Okay, you're just gonna repeat this process on all tiers. And again, I'm just grabbing some and making a C. And this is just so it's not so bland, not so basic. Top tier now. And we're almost done. And this, like, tell me, I know you're watching this and you're like, dang, that's so easy. It is that easy. You're literally just making C's. I told you, we're making an easy DIY wedding cake. I know wedding cakes and easy don't go together, but today it does. Okay, but who said to eat this bad? Right now it's looking rustic, it's looking beautiful. Like, I love the texture to it. Some people might not like it. You have no taste. No taste. I got a bunch of flowers to choose from. Now, whenever I do wedding cakes, honestly, when I do any cakes, I prefer to use faux flowers. These are literally fake flowers. Why do I prefer it? A lot of flowers are toxic, believe it or not. Hydrangeas, very toxic. Baby's breath. People love to add baby's breath to their cake. This is so toxic, so toxic. So I think it's safest, it's best to use fake flowers. The only thing is, don't buy cheap flowers. I get some bougie, expensive flowers so they look realistic. Like this, it don't look like the dollar store. It looks like a real rose. So now we add our flowers. Honestly, there's no right way to add flowers. You really just, first, you find your front. Which side is the prettiest? I like this, here. So I'm just gonna start. I'm just gonna put a flower here. There's no right way to do this. This is where you really let your creativity shine through. Maybe a flower here. One thing I do like to do with flowers is like put them on opposite sides. And I know it's looking like a lot of white, but I have some pink flowers I think I'm gonna add to. Trust the process. So I'm adding some greenery. I have this cool flower. I think the best way to do flowers is to have a different arrangement. So you wanna like play around with different types of flowers, different styles of flowers. You just want to add some interest. The way to do this again, I'm literally just adding anything and everything. I'm hungry, y'all. I gotta hurry up. I gotta eat. That's the back. Okay, let's add some gold. This is gold leaf that I got from Amazon. It's gonna make the cake look so bougie. When you use gold leaf, you wanna use it very delicately. I feel like people overdo it, and it's like, it's supposed to be bougie, like this is like Cartier on a cake. Like, you can't have too much. And this is the final product. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And like, talk about how easy this wedding cake was. Now we can sell it for $1,000. $1,000, who wants it, who wants it? But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you liked the video, hit the like button, and stay tuned for the next video. Let me know if you want more challenges, or do you like some tutorials? Because you know, I gotta help y'all. It's hard out here, it's expensive out here. We need ways to make affordable wedding cakes, and doing it yourself might just be the best way. Editor, Photoshop me and Beyonce together right now. Like we're posing with the cake. No? Okay.